Listen to the show and peep what these dudes bring. If you didn't know, it's an orange and blue thing. Hope to win the championship in a few rings. We're talking baseball. It's an orange and blue thing. Walk off if the game's tied like shoestrings. It's a Mets podcast, orange and blue thing. Beat the other team with defense in a few swings. LFGM, it's an orange and blue thing.
What's up, Mets fans? How we doing? Back at you, Orange and Blue Thing. Season 5, episode 16. I don't know if we even have to say that anymore, but I say that every week that we don't have to say it, but I'm going to say it anyway.
All right.
I am Darren Meenan. That's Julia Quadrino. Julia, how you doing?
I'm sweating.
Sweating.
I walked in the door 30 seconds ago.
We say this every week that I almost like it better when we don't have any chit chat beforehand, but you seriously walked in maybe 30 seconds ago.
Literally.
So if you're watching the live show, hopefully I sound good on port 3, by the way.
Honestly, in my ears, port 3 sounds
Port 3, the way to be. If you don't
Yeah.
know what I'm talking about, and you want to rewind to any of the previous shows, I was having a little bit of audio issues for the past 16 weeks, basically, and I couldn't figure it out. I redid the soundboard. I switched microphones. I switched wires. And last week, in the middle of the show, I decided to just unplug and switch to a different port, and it actually worked.
I can't even believe that you didn't think of that sooner.
I don't know. I should have. I'm not an AV guy. I'm not a tech guy.
I know. The good thing is you don't have to hire somebody now. So
people in the comments checking in, saying sounds good to me. Elvis told me at the tailgate the other day, which was phenomenal. If you missed it, you missed a good one.
So much fun.
He was like, why don't you just switch ports earlier? Like, ports always burn out. And I was like, I didn't fucking know that.
If Elvis was listening all this time, he should have offered that advice sooner.
He should.
That's on Elvis.
But you know what? Last week, it was the breaking news that he texted me that he was going to be doing the DJing at the tailgate. And I think that was much more important than worrying about my microphone.
That is true.
Shout out to you guys loud and clear, watching on Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope. We appreciate your weekly listens, your weekly views. Let us know where you're watching from, and we'll start this week off right with you. The Mets won the series this weekend.
Heck yeah.
And, that's the most important part. I mean, obviously, we want to sweep. We would love to sweep one of the best teams in the league in the San Diego Padres. But, the bullpen was a little taxed, and we could always, point fingers and say, Luis Rojas blew it. And, this one's on Luis.
Right.
But really, this one's on Familia. And, he came in and he couldn't get the job done, and it is what it is. But, you and I, will be completely honest, we weren't locked into the game as much yesterday. We were at a little get together at a friend's house.
But the game was on, and we were catching glimpses from outside.
And I happened to go in to...
You saw Familia walking the run,
I went in for a quick potty break, and I saw he was about to walk the bases loaded, which he did. And then there was a grand salami from Tatis. So, if you were at the game yesterday, I'm sure it was a bummer, but the place has been freaking electric lately.
Oh my God. I just can't even get over the final out on Saturday.
Yeah.
Was just like, it felt like the whole 9th inning felt like a freaking playoff game. It was crazy. It's awesome. I'm
sure you were watching on Friday night when DeGrom was pitching.
Yeah.
And also batting, because he does everything. He's the jack of all trades.
Amazing.
He had that 2-run, I think it was a 2-run single late in the game. He's producing and scoring runs and helping his own case out
himself.
But it's very rare that you see fans in the stands when they were showing the crowd shooting video of a pitcher hitting.
Yeah.
And then he came through, and it's like, what can't this guy do? But
it's awesome.
He came out early. We're going to get to a little poll in a little bit about the concern. How concerned are you over Jacob deGrom? And I don't want this to happen. I'm not like wishing it or speaking it into the universe for it to actually happen. But I've been saying pretty much the whole season, dating back to spring training, that it's impressive to watch, but it's scary to watch.
It feels
also
too good to be true.
Your arm is a ticking time bomb, and he was dealing with the issues. What was it first? Like his lat or his side or whatever it was, his abs or something was bothering him. And now it's something in the arm, which is more concerning than
the elbow.
The elbow tendonitis. We're learning. We have like a minor in the medical field by being a Mets fan.
It's great.
Yeah, it's great and not great.
Was that what it was?
It was. I wrote it down. Right flexor tendonitis, and someone actually was able to figure this out, because I don't know how the internet works with this, but you could search the internet to see if there's like a spike in like a Google search activity, and at like 8 o'clock or whatever time it was on Friday, flexor tendonitis was like through the roof on the internet.
Oh my God.
I don't know if that's a Twitter thing or whatever.
Are such a chaotic breed of humans. It's just, but it's Jacob deGrom. So
Valley fever. Like we learn all these things just from being a Mets fan.
Hand, foot, and mouth disease.
Thoracic outlet syndrome. We just learn. We're basically we have a minor.
Yeah.
So we got Fort Worth, Texas in the house. Tyler Hayes checking in. We got KT Kelly on Periscope from Seattle. Wow. We got right down the block in Comac. LA, which we're going to get to in a little bit. I don't know if they're excited about LA or they're watching from LA.
I appreciate we get so many people who watch from different time zones, especially when we do these 12 o'clock
it's a morning
shows.
show for them. They're drinking coffee now, watching
nice.
us.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So yeah, we are going to get to LA in a little bit. I just noticed from looking at the camera here, I forgot to turn on my lights behind me. Unfortunately, the T7L lights are off right now, but the important one is on over my right shoulder, which is Coors Light. Coors Light came through so big.
Oh my God.
This weekend.
Clutch.
So clutch. And one of the things that I want to talk about, which was on this paper, which I keep saying I can't talk about, is the perks that they had lined up for our season ticket members. And now I could finally talk about it because they did come through in a condensed version of it, because not everyone was able to get it yet with the opt-in, opt-out format right now. But Coors Light is basically giving members free beer on outing days. And if you don't drink beer, you can use it for concession credit for water or soda or
it's just
or
like
something
a little
else.
Gift card.
Well, that's what we have now. So if you got a gift card on Saturday,
I did.
If you didn't get one, I'm sorry. There wasn't enough to go around for everybody, but the way that I did it was to not cause like mass hysteria at the tailgate. They gave me 200 gift cards worth $15.25, and $15.25 covers a tall boy in the ballpark.
Right.
So what they're going to do in the future, I'm hoping that they can figure this out by the next outing, which is on the 22nd, but every fan is going to have that concession credit built into their barcode when they go into the game.
Oh, cool.
So they don't have to do anything. They could redeem it at wherever, kind of like we've done in
we did it
Boston,
like Boston, yeah.
Which Boston, the Red Sox fucked up and gave us double our concession credit, which was great.
Thank you, Boston.
Good for us, bad for them. We were talking about that yesterday. Like we had too much credit.
Yeah.
Like we couldn't spend 100. Like Kelly and I had $80 each. We're supposed to have 40 each.
Yep.
And we just couldn't buy that much.
I just kept buying chicken fingers.
Yeah, $160 worth of chicken fingers in Boston. So what they did was they gave us these gift cards, and at the tailgate party, everyone who was sitting with us that day, I was like, hey, did you get one yet? And everyone was very cool with taking one.
Right.
You lost yours.
I don't think I lost it. I think I was just having too good of a time with the Coors Light already in my system that I misplaced it.
Yeah.
I think it's somewhere in my wallet that my eyes were just not capable of finding at that time. But I'm sure it will turn up. But it was so funny because somebody came up to me and was just like, you need to go see Darren. Coors Light got you money. And I was like, what does that mean? I was like, but it was obviously for everyone. I don't know why.
Right.
I forgot who it was. I don't know.
Well, I went up to people. I'm like, hey, do you want some free money?
Yeah. I came up to you. I was like, what?
Yeah.
I said to you, you were like, here, take this. I was like, okay.
So thanks to Coors Light. I mean, the partnership with them has been phenomenal so far, and we enjoy drinking their beers. It's not like, honestly, I've been drinking Coors Light for a long time, and having them a part of the show now and part of the Mets family is great.
Yeah.
So thanks to them, and we really appreciate it because that's so cool.
Yeah.
Free beer.
Awesome.
So yeah, the beers were flowing. Thanks to them for that. But the tailgate party, it was great. Like the amount of new faces we saw, and with the opt-ins and the opt-outs, the reason why backtracking a little bit, the reason why they can't figure out the barcodes yet is because the season ticket members who aren't vaccinated yet or who just don't feel comfortable going to the games yet opt out, and then those seats are then pushed to the public. So if you noticed, like even in the first row the other day, there was people seated there that aren't members because they got the tickets from people who didn't renew or not renewed, people that didn't opt out.
Yeah.
So they can't figure out the barcodes yet for now. So for now we have the gift cards, but the tailgate party, the amount of new faces was great.
A lot of young bucks,
guys that we haven't seen, guys that I know from either the show or from just going to Mets games in general, but people that haven't necessarily joined our crew yet.
Right.
And shout out to Rocky. I met a man named Rocky who showed up a little bit earlier, and some people were confused about like where to pick their jersey up. It's been 2 years.
I know. We're all out of practice.
Left field, pick up your jersey there. But the tailgate party was great. We had so much fun. A couple players actually slid into my DMs. I showed you.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna rat them out here, but they were like, "Man, looks like so much fun. I wish I could be out there." So we had so much fun, and it's great to be back.
I know,
because I went to Baltimore last week, as you know. I went on Wednesday, and once you walked into the gates, it seemed like just the old days.
Well, that was also this homestand is new now. If you are fully vaccinated, you don't need to wear a mask anywhere in the stadium.
I didn't wear it to walk in.
Me either.
To the bathroom, nowhere.
Only if you're not vaccinated. It's the same rules as before as when you're eating.
But once you're inside, how do they know the difference anyway?
I know.
So it's like, it was almost like it felt like old times.
I know. It was extremely normal. I do hope, for everyone's safety involved, if you're not vaccinated, follow the rules, whatever. But for those of us who were, it felt very just like a normal 7-line. And that was my first 7-line outing with you guys, like the home stadium since 2018.
Yeah.
Summer of 2018. Because I didn't get to go to a single game in 2019.
Yeah.
So that was
it felt completely normal.
Yeah.
And I was talking with Indart afterwards, the general, shout out to the general.
Who beat Zappa and Flip Cup. I'm going to say that because he would want me to. But
and happy birthday to Zappa.
Happy birthday, Zappa.
Yeah. So, he was talking about it too. The first few games. That's why I wasn't calling the first few games that we had on our schedule this year outings.
Yeah.
Because it didn't feel like an outing to me. We weren't sitting in our regular seats.
Right. It was the tailgate.
We had no tailgating. Yeah. We met up in a certain spot, but it wasn't like we had the other day. It wasn't a tailgate.
Yeah.
So the first time, this felt like the first time back.
Yeah, for sure.
First outing,
For sure.
And it was great. It was so much fun. So all you youths out there that want to come hang out, come see us.
There were some youths of age youths, like drinking age youths.
Yeah.
Youths.
Yeah. And some not. Like I met damn, I forgot their name. But a guy was there with his nephew and his nephew's girlfriend. They're both like about 18, like high school age or whatever. And it was their first time. And people were just coming out, coming down. And because I write it on the blog post for the tailgate, whether you're sitting with us or not sitting with us, you have in the past, you will in the future, you want to just meet some people, come on down. Oh, let me tell about this guy.
I love it.
Because he probably watches the show.
Let's go.
He comes over. He brings some snacks. He brings some drinks.
Like him already.
By himself. And he's from Cali.
Oh, wow.
But he's a Mets fan. He moved to Cali. I think he's from here.
Okay.
But he comes over with stuff. And he's like, I was a little hesitant to join. He's like, my girlfriend doesn't like you. To me. And I'm like, he's like, my ex-girlfriend doesn't like you.
Better. Okay.
And he's like, that's kind of why she's his ex-girlfriend, yada, yada, whatever. I'm not trying to rat him out in case she watches the show or she hate watches the show.
They're trying to get back together.
And I'm like, it's probably not the first time. It's no big deal. Like I've heard it before. It's not like, it's all good. But we talked about it like you've said, we know each other personally for so many years where maybe it's cooled off the past couple of years. Now that I'm a dad and a little older, maybe I don't rub as many people the wrong way, but I feel like if we did come hang out, we would get along.
Yeah.
So I'm glad he came out and he was having fun. He came down during the game to be like, I'm so happy I'm here. So it was cool.
And he brought snacks.
Brought snacks.
That's all that matters.
If you bring snacks and you bring drinks,
you got a friend in me.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're watching live and you're on Facebook,
post it on your wall.
Post the show on your wall. Hit the little share button. Let your friends know you're watching Orange and Blue thing. They can watch the replay. They can watch it live, whatever they want to do. But then that's how you get put in the running to win free stuff. We give out stuff each week. And if I haven't gotten to you yet in the last couple of weeks, I promise I will soon. Shout out to Coors Light for the hookup. This is not a Coors Light sponsored promotion, but we are giving these away. They mailed us a bunch and we're giving them to you. So they are short sleeve hooded tees. And we also have the tumblers where you can either pour your beverage in or unscrew the top and slide in your Coors Light seltzer. They are awesome. So post it on your wall or
snap it to the chat.
You can't really snap it to the chat, but I like these drops from Howie so much. You can post it to your wall. If you're watching on Twitter, hit the little retweet button.
A Snapchat.
I
made you a Snapchat.
Yeah, I don't use it. You could use it.
I think the last time I used it was the 2015 playoffs. You had me running it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
So you could run it again if
I'm
you
pretty
want.
sure the last thing I posted on the 7-Line Snapchat was David Wright's brother on Big Mike's shoulders leading a Let's Go Mets chant. And
Is Snapchat still a thing?
It is for like cheaters. That's what I've learned.
For cheaters?
Yeah.
Oh, we will get to cheaters in a second.
Love it.
Because I have this written down. You haven't seen the rundown at all.
No, again, walked in 30 seconds before showtime.
But we'll get to that in a little bit.
Freeballing it.
When we get to what I was thinking about cheating.
Yeah.
But so Tailgate Party's fun. The Snapchat, if you have Snapchat, I don't know, maybe we'll bring it back. I feel like that's dying out, right?
I mean, I don't know if the youths are still using it. I know me and Katie.
Like TikTok is the thing.
Yeah, me and Katie have like a 225-day snap streak going just because we hate ourselves and just like need to
220 day what?
It's we have snapped each other every single day for 225 days. And it's just like a picture of our face. Yeah, but only with Katie really. just
Is
because
it to see like who's going to flinch first and not do it?
kind of. I think it's like we both just need the validation of knowing someone's thinking about us at any given time. I don't know. So it's nice for me. But otherwise, no, I don't know people who use Snapchat for like promotional social media purposes, like businesses. I don't really think it's a thing. But we can break
So
that.
we got Tim checking in the comments. Is New York the only city checking vaccinations, not hearing or seeing it anywhere else? As far as I know, I don't want to speak for the rest of the country or the rest of the ballparks, but as far as I know, from the teams we're working with, the Mets are the only ones that are asking for it. So like we're going to Philly, we're going to Pittsburgh, we're going to LA. Vaccinations are not required for any of those.
And it was also,
and it wasn't in Baltimore either.
to my knowledge, because I wasn't at the last homestand, but correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure last homestand they gave you a wristband.
You had to go in special entrance. Now it's like going any entrance you want.
You just show your vaccination card when you're going in, and I don't even think they check it with your ticket to make sure you're in a vaccinated
That's what I was thinking too. I'm not trying to throw the Mets under the bus here
Yeah.
because everyone's trying to do their best.
Right.
But when I showed my vaccination in the Excelsior pass to the first guy, I then walked in and showed my ticket to someone else.
Yeah.
So what if I didn't show my vaccination to the first person, but showed my ticket to the second person?
Yeah. So I
feel like with anything, it's like honor system.
Yeah. And I appreciate that. I think at the end of the day, all they're trying to do is keep people who aren't vaccinated safe, and that's great. But
I feel fine now. Like I'm fine being around. I know people that aren't vaccinated. And I'm not like,
I mean, the
up.
whole thing is like, just because we're vaccinated doesn't mean we can't contract the virus, right? It doesn't like deflect it off your body. It just means we're 99.9% sure we're not going to be put on ventilators because of it. So I mean, I get it, but at the same time, people who aren't getting vaccinated, not all of them, but a lot of them are comfortable with that decision. They're comfortable being around people. They're comfortable assuming that risk. And again, I'm also kind of in the boat of like, at this point with life going back to normal, if they're comfortable,
right.
And there are some people who for medical reasons can't get it. Totally get that. And I think that's why these safety measures are still in place for the people who it's not necessarily their choice that they can't get it, but they still kind of need protection somewhat. So I don't know. But like you said, I personally feel safe. It felt very normal on Saturday.
Yeah.
Loved it.
So speaking of normal, the Mets having a winning record in June is not usually normal.
I was going to say that's not normal at all.
So the great thing so far is they're 17-6 at home. They're 6-5 in June. They're 32-25, first place in the East, 7 games over 500, and they have a 3-game lead over Philly. I was looking at the numbers. The Cubs are in town this week. They're a great team. Obviously, they're tied with the Brewers for first in the Central, but after we're done with this 4-game series, it's all NL East for the rest of the month.
Wow.
So the Mets have been playing well, especially at home and against the NL East.
Yeah.
So they have 5 games against the Nationals coming up, 6 games against the Braves, and 4 against the Phillies. So the last 15 games of the month after this 4-game homestand coming up are all NL East.
Beat them up.
So they got to finish strong here and do their thing. We are going to have a special guest checking in a little bit. We were talking about this last week, the Bench Mob Player of the Week.
Heck yeah.
I feel like this week is a clear-cut favorite, and we're going to have our buddy. I'm not going to even say his name yet because
no, tease it.
We're going to tease it a little bit. He's going to check in here, and he's going to talk about who he thinks is the Bench Mob Player of the Week. But let me do a little bit of shilling here for the 7-Line Army.
Perfect.
We have tickets going up tomorrow for the next home game at Citi Field with the 7-Line Army, which is on Tuesday, June 22nd. It's Mets versus Braves. It comes with the special event jersey, and it is $45 a ticket. It is a Tuesday, so normally what we used to do on weekdays during outing days, we'd go to either McKellar or McFadden's. They're both gone, and so is the Pine. So I don't know.
Forgot about the Pine.
The Pine then closed down. They tried to make it through the pandemic.
Yeah.
So they were doing what they could. Dina was phenomenal over there, and I wish her the best. I don't know what she's doing now.
Yeah.
But I think his name was Chuck, the GM before the pandemic hit, got out and moved to to North Carolina.
Oh wow.
Dina was like next in line. She stepped up and took over the place. I don't know if she owns it or took over whatever. She was running it, doing a great job. And then the pandemic happened. They tried to stay in business. They were doing like watch parties outside. Like they got like a little area out in the parking lot, kind of like most places did. They did outdoor seating and then they had to shut down. So the Pine then sold, I think it's like a Korean barbecue place or something, which doesn't really, we were talking about this yesterday, it doesn't really mix with like the hotel. Because like the hotel usually has like very like traditional American like burgers and hot.
But not only that, I just feel like every hotel needs like a hotel bar.
Right. Well, I think they have the bar still, but I don't think it's like a bar anymore. Yeah. So I don't know what we're gonna do. Yeah. So anyway, we're going to figure something out. I was texting Indart last night, like, do we tailgate anyway? If you do, are you down to go early? Yada, yada. So we'll figure something out for pregame. But either way, it's a Tuesday night, $45 a piece. They go up tomorrow at 10 a.m. And Mets.com/the Seven Line Army handles all of our home game ticket sales. And up on Wednesday, the much anticipated tickets to the Dodgers ballpark go up on August 21st. We're going to be out there. It is, I believe, a 6:10 local start time there. And those are $77 a piece. That comes with the ticket, the special event t-shirt, and a game patch. And those are available on Wednesday at noon. Normally we do like 10 a.m. drops, but the reason why we're doing noon is because we have a lot of West Coast fans joining us. So for them, just like the show, that's a 9 a.m. start for them. So,
and so many, like I said, so many of the people watching are like West Coast or
totally
Central. And,
well, especially like when we go on these road games, I used to keep track when I was packing the orders for each outing, where I would write down the states, and there'd always be like 17, 18 states that would be represented at the away games.
That's awesome.
And totally when we go to like LA, LA, we went to Arizona, we went to San Diego. It was usually West Coasters.
Yeah.
And, obviously we know I ride motocross, right? When I go to dirt bike races or when I'm riding, people kind of can't grasp what I do.
Yeah.
So I don't talk about the Mets when I go to a motocross race.
Right.
They just think like, they know I have something to do with Mets stuff.
Yeah.
But no one really cares. A lot of guys that ride motocross.
Amelia just tells people you own the Mets.
Yeah.
Don't ask questions.
But a lot of guys that ride. They don't care about other sports, so they get very confused when they follow me on social media. Like I meet them at the track, they follow me, and then they're like, what is this? You're going to LA for what? I'm like, yeah, we're going to like 1,500 people.
Yeah.
And they're like, they don't really grasp it.
Like you have friends? You have friends?
You know other people that don't ride dirt bikes? So the bench mob player of the week. So we are going to bring in our buddy.
Yes.
Oh, I messed that up.
Oh no,
hold on.
Go?
Our buddy. Hopefully, can we hear you, Joe?
Yeah, what's going on? You hear me?
We do hear you. So let's give a little clap for Mr. Joe. Joe, how are
Darren
you?
loves the soundboard.
I love the soundboard. So if you don't, I'm sure. Well, Julia actually, for some reason, didn't the other day at the tailgate, you guys had like reintroduce each other?
Here's what happened. Okay, me and Joe, to my knowledge, have never met in person before. Correct?
I didn't think so either. That's why I was like, hi. I don't know. Just try not to be weird, but
here's the thing. No, it was totally fine. Joe was wearing sunglasses that like you look into them and you can see yourself. And I was the kind of responsible drunk where, when you're drunk and like,
well, you were very responsible.
Very responsibly drunk. But when you look into a mirror and you're just like staring at yourself to like, am I okay?
Yeah.
I was doing that into his sunglasses. So he's talking to me and I'm not processing who's talking to me. Yeah. I'm just like, am I okay? He's like, it's Joe. I'm like, oh, Joe.
I'm talking and I'm getting no feedback. And I was like, do you not know who I am? I just want to be sure that I'm.
No.
And it's hilarious. She was like, I'm going to be honest, the sunglasses are throwing me off. I don't know.
Well, it's funny because that's not the first that we were talking at the tailgate. Didn't you say that someone came up to you and they said, I thought you're going to be more buff?
Yeah.
No.
I mean,
who would say that?
I don't know, but it was super funny. And no, it came up and he was just like, are you Joe DeMayo? I went, yeah. I mean, ultimately, I just hang out. Like I'm kind of a bit of a ball of energy when you know me, but when you don't, and like I'm in a setting by myself, I was just like, I'm just gonna sit here and sip my drink. So whatever, he comes up, we're chatting for a couple minutes. He's like, I'm gonna be honest. He's like, I listen to your podcast, I watch all the stuff that you do. He was like, I honestly thought you were more built. And I go, what the hell, man?
I mean, I guess it's a compliment that you sound built, but
I don't know if it's a compliment. I don't know.
I don't know.
You can take it either way. It's a compliment.
Yeah. A little backhanded.
Yeah, it's funny. Like people, I don't know if you saw the beginning of the show, but I was saying like the one guy told me that his ex-girlfriend hated me, and now people are saying like, yeah, I thought you were gonna be more buff. It's like at the tailgate. Usually we talk about this. People in person aren't usually as open. Like they'll talk shit about you on the internet, but then like they'll see you in person. Like Joe, you got to start doing some push-ups, man.
I know.
That's messed up. Joe, you look fine. Don't listen to him.
Like when I met Darren, so this goes back to 2013. I met Darren the first time. My first 7-line outing was 2013 opening day. And I came up to him, introduced myself. He was like, wow, I thought you were way older.
Well, because you remember you never had a profile photo.
That's true.
Oh.
It's
yeah,
true.
Joe, I get that all the time. I get it.
I was in hiding. But no, it was definitely a fun time. It's the first time I like went to a game by myself. Well, I was with Keith, so I wasn't by myself. I like drove to a game with no one else in the car. So
yeah.
Yeah, so I was a poor excuse for Trisha for the day. But,
So let me start this off by saying, congratulations with the SNY gig.
Amazing.
I used to always say that you were the most knowledgeable guy that actually didn't do this for a living.
Yep.
And then you're still not doing this for a living. I mean, you have your real job, but you're doing, I'm assuming you're still just doing this on the side for now, right?
Yep. Still doing it on the side.
Awesome.
Actually, fun fact, I'm dressed like this because we finished recording the episode a little while ago. And I just
Wow.
So let me ask you, did you have anything to do with the name of the show?
Not really. I mean,
All right. Because I was confused because isn't there already the Metro, your Mets Metrospective, right? Mets Perspective, because there's also a Metrospective, and I was confused because that's the Athletic, but not to start a turf war between you guys with the name, but tell the people watching a little bit about that before we get into the Bench Mob Player of the Week.
Yes, plug.
Yeah, Mets Perspective is a digital video series on SNY.TV with Jacob Resnick and myself. And we're just covering different prospects throughout the system. Last week we covered Brett Beatty, who went on to have like a monster week against Jersey Shore. He hit 4 homers in the week. But yeah, we're just going to be covering different prospects every other Thursday. It'll launch at 4 p.m. So what's today? So not this Thursday. Yeah, this Thursday, the next episode will drop. So we do that bi-weekly, super fun. And check it out. And it's fun it's funny when they asked me to do it initially, they're like, yeah, do you want to do like a web digital series on prospects? I'm like, sure. Sounds fun. I didn't realize that they'd be plugging it like hell, like Mets pregame baseball night in New York. During the game, Gary Cohen's talking about it. And I'm just
so cool.
What a world.
Wow.
What a crazy turn of events too for Jacob, because he was in like
totally. He was the kid caster.
He was the kid caster.
Crazy.
Yeah. And he's super knowledgeable. And so I rarely feel old in any situation. I'm 33, but I'm not old by any means. Jacob texted us a couple weeks ago a picture of like a meal and a glass of wine. He was like, here's what I did for my 21st birthday a couple weeks ago. And I'm like,
yeah.
How do you think I feel, man? I'm sitting next to Julia and we have a little bit of a gap here too, but it makes me feel young that I'm like, talking to you guys because she's also in her 20s. But so I put up the question today on Twitter, and I'm not going to even show the results because they're all pretty overwhelmingly for one certain specific player. But why don't you tell us who you think the Bench Mob Player of the Week is? Oh,
it's Billy McKinney. I mean, is there really, like you said, another option? He's a guy that was waived by Milwaukee. He's been on kind of, back and forth between different organizations, not really finding footing. And I mean, it's a small sample size, of course, but his OPS is over like 1.1. He gets an extra base hit like every other time he's coming to the plate. So when they got him, I was just like, sweet. It's a name I've heard of. Hopefully he's just not terrible. He's really kind of, I was like, he just needs to not be like an automatic out. And he's actually been like a major positive. I have to imagine there's gonna be a point in time where the clock strikes midnight and he's not quite this good, but ultimately what they needed him for was to get through this stretch while they're trying to get people back. So he's been awesome. I mean, most of the replaced Mets there's a reason they're in first place, and it's because all these guys are stepping up. But yeah, McKinney's been a guy that has been unbelievable to watch.
Yeah, I was looking at the numbers this morning, and out of the last week, he played 3 games. He's had 10 at-bats, 4 runs, 6 hits, 2 doubles, 2 home runs, 6 RBIs, and he's batting 500.
Crazy.
So yeah, pretty good week for Mr. McKinney. I someone replied before, they said President McKinney, because he sounds very presidential there.
Yeah. That's like player of the week numbers, no?
Yeah.
Like he could be in that conversation. That's still a thing that they do, player of the week?
Yeah, because remember, they do player of the week and then NL and AL player of the week, but then the player of the month with Paddock thing.
Yeah.
So what's funny too, we were talking about this, I think off the air, whatever, maybe I was talking about it yesterday with some buddies. It's funny when the Mets get rid of somebody, you're always like, they're going to thrive somewhere else. It seems like the Mets are kind of striking, getting very lucky this year with who they built this team around.
Yeah, I mean,
doesn't work that way.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way. But for this year, I don't know if it's, the Steve Cohen effect that things are going to start turning in the Mets' favor. I mean, we're well overdue. So it'd be really nice if that were the case. But yeah, they're striking gold for now. And considering how many, I've never heard of a team having 17 players on the injured list.
Right.
Crazy.
Never heard of that in my life. I mean, I'm sure it's happened, but I've never heard of it. So I was just like, the fact that they're not in 4th place and now like, oh, we're going to get the reinforcements back and we're going to build that comeback up to 1st place.
Right.
They've been sitting there the whole time. And even after yesterday's loss, you'd think they're in last place, but I mean, it's crazy how fans could be, but it's been super exciting to see, these guys that, have nothing to lose. Sometimes that's a benefit, right? Where it's
just totally. Well, yeah, this is basically
what happens. I got waived last week. What's the worst that happened? I get waived again.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like right now, it's like their shot. It's like the Eminem. Like I got one shot, whatever that song is. But the like right now, it's their time to shine, and they're coming through, which is great. But it's to give the Yankees a little bit of props here for a second. I know it's frowned upon in our fan base here, but we say it often, like a player will put on the pinstripes and automatically they're like all-stars. So maybe it's something that's happening in Queens, the water, something's changing in the air in Flushing. And like you said, maybe it's the Cohen effect.
Yeah,
but
Steve Cohen's water just tastes a little better. I don't know.
Yeah. The Cohen water. All right, Joe. So listen, get back to whatever your real job is, not just, following the Mets all the time. And we appreciate you checking. I don't know if you want to do this once in a while, pop in, help us with the Bench Mob Player of the Week.
Yeah, just don't wear your sunglasses so I know who you are. We're good.
Just text me, man. I'll do it anytime I can. No worries.
Awesome. Be good. And, everyone check him out on SMY. You're doing great stuff.
Appreciate it. We'll see y'all soon.
Have a good one.
Bye.
I'm so happy for him and Jacob.
Oh, my God. When I saw that, when they first posted that tweet, I was like, this is freaking awesome. Couldn't pick 2 better people to do that, too.
Yeah. Because
so
I've known,
cool.
like you said, he was at the opening day in 2013. So we've known each other for a while now. And, we try every once in a while to start ramping up the blog again. And, it works for a little bit. And I can't focus my time on that as much. Like, cause I'm doing, especially now, I could have last year or in the off season, but now that my job is actually
there's things
back,
happening. Yeah.
I'm doing stuff every day, planning this and planning that. I can't focus on it as much, but he was writing for me for a little bit. And I know, obviously the bar, not the bar, but like the possibilities are a lot higher for Joe to work for an SMY than the 7-Line blog, so hopefully he moves up the chain and whatever his real job is, because I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Very mysterious.
Maybe he can quit that one day and the Mets are his real job, because he's definitely skilled and, we appreciate it and enjoy his friendship. So LA. So LA is coming up. Like we talked about, and I ask the fans sometimes for their suggestions on slogans.
Oh, yes.
So do you want to hear some of those possible slogans?
I would love to, because I actually did not get to read any of these. I saw the tweet, but I didn't get to read through the replies.
Okay, so let me scroll through and get to that, because the design process takes a little bit, and so does the approval process. But I asked for some slogans. We got 173 replies on this.
Oh, wow.
Yesterday. I think it was yesterday.
Brave to just
the
show
13th. Yeah, yesterday. No, it's okay. I'll tell you some couple ones that I liked that stood out. A couple Bauer sticky situation stuff, which are, I wouldn't hate to do that and then it come out where like a Mets player gets caught too.
Not only that, but like I don't want to make it about Bauer. Screw Bauer.
Right. The Brooklyn trolley line, breaching the Southland, 7-Line Flatbush extension, LA ambush, California here we come, bring the stars to LA. It's time for Mets baseball. East Coast. Well, we're on the West Coast, but East Coast deGrom doesn't really make sense because we're going to be on the West Coast. There are a couple that I should have wrote them down, but there were a few that stood out for sure. One was, here's one, Rumble in the Ravine. I like that. And this is George Igo. So if you guys ever want to watch like a vlog from a outing, George went to the Arizona game by himself, not knowing anyone, and vlogged his experience for his YouTube channel.
I remember that.
And he did a great job.
Really cool. Yeah.
So check out George on YouTube if you want to check that out. But something to do with the ravine sounds good. I don't know if I really want to go with Rumble, because then I could picture like Dodgers fans being like, "Oh, is that a challenge? Let's rumble," And
especially Dodgers.
I'm not trying to do that, so might leave out Rumble. But something in the ravine sounds good. Sounds good to me. But if you want to suggest anything, or you got some ideas,
takes the ravine.
Queens.
Does it rhyme?
Queens takes the ravine. Not really.
No, right? I was trying to think of a rhyme. I love a good rhyme. That doesn't rhyme though.
Someone said, I can't remember here, but it said something like Tinseltown Takeover. I think that was a cool one.
That's cool.
There's a lot of plays on that. And are you going to go to LA?
Probably not. End of August is usually like my busiest time of year for work. That's when everyone wants to travel, which means everyone needs a dog sitter. I think my anxiety would be a little too high being on a different coast.
Here's one: rivalry in the ravine.
Oh, that's good.
Because that's that's not a
That's not a
rumble.
challenge. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not rumbling in the
Right.
ravine. We'll figure it out. But yeah, the shirt is like the least of what people care about. I feel like when we go on the away games, even though people always mention that they loved the San Diego one.
It was
that,
really
like,
nice. It was so soft.
It was a little bit softer. I don't know why, because we
Yeah.
use the same shirt for everything on the road. But it was one of those like heather blend shirts. It was like a
Yeah.
heather orange.
I love that shirt.
And people love the San Diego one.
Yeah.
So yeah, speaking of shirts, we have something that you could do with all your old shirts. Let's get to this a little bit
Just gonna
earlier
say.
today, because this is a great segue
Mhm.
talking about outing shirts and, things of that nature. Our friends over at Project Repat can do something with all your old shirts, your old jerseys, tank tops, polo shirts, whatever you want. Project Repat USA on Instagram. You should follow their account. And the way that you can get in the running for the free t-shirt quilt is just by following their account and having something Mets related as like either your profile photo or maybe you're like in the ballpark or something orange and blue. They scroll through their followers. They have 205,000 followers, but the way that it works when you own an account, you can actually scroll and like hit the follower button and it keeps them in order. So they could probably keep track that way. But you could see some examples here if you're watching live on the show from their Instagram account. I guess this girl has she's a senior, and that's her stuff from either high school or college, track and field, yada yada. And when you're done with all these shirts and you have nothing to do with them anymore, you could get them cut up and sewn together and made into a t-shirt quilt that you can hang on to forever. Maybe it's your favorite Mets shirts. You want to snuggle up on the couch with your loved one and watch a game. This is a great idea for it. So Project Repat USA on Instagram. Go to their website, projectrepat.com. They always have different promo codes available, and you can get yourself a t-shirt quilt for a little bit of a discount or for free if you follow their account. So speaking of loved ones, let's get to what I was talking about before about cheating, because we're going to call this
what a segue.
We're going to call this the people are like, what is this, page 6? We're going to call it page 7.
Okay.
So if there's ever any like
tea we have to spill
that I see that I want to talk about, I want you to explain this one because
oh no, what? I don't even know what we're talking about here.
Well, you're about to, because I saw you retweet this.
Oh, this, yes.
So
this.
you want to ruin a man's life.
Any day I'd love to ruin a man's life, but this was a really good
So what's
reason.
going on here?
I don't know this girl. I think Sandy is her name, right? It's too small for me to see. Some girl Sandy was at a game yesterday, sitting behind a
Saturday.
Yes, I'm sorry. I don't know what time is. There Saturday, sitting behind some dirtbag who was bragging to his friends about how he cheated on his girlfriend. And women look out for women. So if you're going to cheat on your girlfriend and brag about it, do it in private, not at a public baseball stadium where anyone could be listening or watching. It's not like this is the first time this has happened. Like, how many times you see viral, like somebody behind a person, like sees like texts that they're sending, whatever. So very reckless. I don't know if this man has been.
Do you believe this though?
Yet.
Do you think this is like, I don't know Sandy. I don't think you either know Sandy.
If you scroll down, there is a girl who saw
she
that
has
guy.
6,000 followers.
Yeah, if you scroll down, there is a girl who says she saw that guy on the train and like with his friends and can confirm.
So
like, yes,
confirmed.
I saw that guy. There's no reason for a girl to make this up, for anyone to make this up. Like, I
wonder if the guy watches the show now. He hates us.
I don't care. I hope your life gets ruined. But honestly, listen. You don't cheat. You already suck as a human being. And you're already stupid. But if you have the audacity and the balls to talk about it publicly as if, like, your bros are going to think it's cool.
This got a lot of traction.
As it should. Save this woman. She's wasting her time.
3,679 likes, 727 retweets, 131 quote tweets.
You want to know what that is? That's a bunch of girls who have been cheated on. Who are like, we need to help her.
So I wonder if this guy saw that.
And it's so funny because like there's like a bunch of like quote reply or quote retweets and replies, and guys be like, oh, like, don't be a snitch, like stay out of people's business. Like, okay, so you've cheated on someone. That's what that means.
I don't know if I should we get into this? Yeah, let's
get into it.
So this is
page 7, baby.
Something similar happened to me once at a bar where a guy was being inappropriate with Kelly.
Ooh.
And I knew him. I didn't know his name, but I knew him. And I knew where he was from, and I was angry.
Right.
I didn't punch the guy, but I was close to. And we had a mutual friend that was a bouncer and said, listen, guys, we know both you, like, whatever. So a month goes by. He's with his girlfriend at a bar in Bayside. And I knew that I was going to see this guy again. And I was like, oh, remember? I brought it up in front of the girl. And I guess that was his last time going to the Hamptons, I would just say. It was great.
That's amazing.
It was great. Because I was like, listen, I'm not a fighter. I'm not, it's the kind of thing where I knew I was going to see this guy again.
Right.
And I was like, now's not the time.
Right.
I'll see you again soon. So
I
it's
know.
like a baseball player that like doesn't forget. Like when they get hit by a pitcher and like Piazza and Moda.
Yeah.
In spring training, it was brewing from the year before.
Right.
So I
You
basically
remember.
ruined that
When
guy's
people take shots, you remember.
Hamptons life. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm all about it. We don't have to get into my cheating stories, but we know I'm all about it.
Yeah.
Ruining a man's life, not cheating.
Right. Gotcha. So speaking of something that will not ruin your life, that is going to Drizzly.
Your segues are on point today.
Ordering some beverages because we got a 4-game set coming up against the Cubs, and you want to be chilling and resetting on your couch and getting ready for the game. And what better way to do that than with some Coors Lights? Definitely make sure the Rockies, the mountains, or the sunglasses are blue. That's when you know it's nice and chilled and ready to go. So sit back, relax, have some Coors Lights, watch the game. You could use Drizzly for your deliveries. That's what I do. You could use Instacart. That's Julia's preference. I typed in 41 Sevier Way here, but you type in basically wherever you live. Go on Drizzly, select what you want to purchase. We recommend the Coors Light's American Lager, and get it delivered. So like right here, you're looking on the screen, you can get it in 60 minutes or less, which is phenomenal.
Awesome.
So get your beers delivered, get your whatever delivered, Coors product delivered, and always remember to celebrate responsibly. And Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. People were asking me if I enjoyed the Coors Pure the other day, and I did.
Yeah?
Because I got, we have, not to brag, we got a good amount of beers here on the house.
Large shipment.
And, I brought some to the tailgate, and, people were sampling and enjoying their Coors beverages responsibly, of course, at the tailgate. But I was on the Coors Pure, which is also a light beer, but it's all organic, no sugar, 92 calories for a tall boy.
Wow.
And organic barley and organic hops. So, I try to eat well. Now I'm drinking well, and I'm organic here. I got my salad waiting for me in the next room. Got the dressing on the side today because I know I was going to eat it after the show.
I can't.
So yeah, try that out if you guys are looking for a beer.
And what about those wraps that you made?
I bring wraps. I brought a wrap to the tailgate.
I know. So Amelia yesterday was bragging to her little friends. Darren's daughter was bragging to other little girls about how her dad makes the best wraps. They're just like the wraps from Burger King. She's like, but I've never been to Burger King.
Yeah. She's like, oh, they're like the Burger, but they don't even make wraps at Burger King. I think she was talking about they make nuggets there. Maybe she hears her friends talk about chicken nuggets.
Oh my God, it was so funny.
And I try to,
Darren makes a mean wrap.
That's I try. And speaking of dads, Father's Day is coming up.
Perfect.
So hit up Dugout Mugs and make sure you use our promo code 7LINE, the number 7 LINE. It's Monday. Father's Day is Sunday. So if you get your order in today, I'm pretty sure that they are still processing up. If you look at the website, it says last day to use their code. That'll get you 20% off. Ours gets 35% off. So you should use our code instead. And you can get your stuff in time for Father's Day. So
choose priority processing.
Get your order in today, and you'll probably get it delivered by Friday or Saturday, I hope. If not, and by some chance it's a little late, you could always put a receipt into a card and hook your dad up that way. But use the promo code 7LINE, the number 7 LINE, get 35% off anything in the MLB collection. So maybe your dad's not a Mets fan. That's fine. You're still your dad. You still owe him life. So pick up whatever it may be. And you can see here, it says see MLB Collection. Click that. So all the MLB licensed products are 35% off with the code 7LINE. I'm sure you'd probably prefer to you get some of the Mets options here. They got the dugout mugs, which are made out of the baseball bats, obviously, the wine mugs. They got the bottle openers. They got the knob shots. They hook you up and use that code 7LINE. We love dugout mugs. A lot of guys had it actually at the tailgate party.
I saw that.
Elvis was drinking his whiskey out of his dugout mug while DJing, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? And we sold some dugout mugs there. So they may have seen a little surge of Mets sales on Saturday.
Awesome.
Because some people came up and like, do you sell those here? Like people get confused. They see the truck and they think we're selling stuff. I'm like, no, but go on the website. Dugout mugs. We were promoting dugout mugs at the tailgate. I'm sure they like that as well. So Tomas Nido played third base yesterday. And someone wrote something about how much that was, how bad that was or how much that sucked. And he quote tweeted it or replied to them. Let me pull it up.
Oh,
here.
I didn't see this.
And do you follow Greg Prince?
No, I know the name, but I don't think I follow directly.
He is from I think Faith and Fear
Yes.
and Flushing. Is
Mhm.
it? No, am I screwing that up?
It's one
Damn,
of
I
the-
hope
one
not.
of- I know he's a blogger.
Yeah. And he's also wrote a couple books.
Right.
But he keeps track of like when a guy has his debut, he's like, that's the 1000th Met or whatever.
Oh,
So
cool.
he wrote yesterday like he was the whatever number third baseman it was.
Right.
But someone wrote on Twitter, it was LFGM at King K. Villar and McKinney were unavailable. That's why Gesellman batted, but Nido at third was whack. And then Tomas Nido retweeted it with a GIF that says, "Don't be hating," which is funny too, because like he must be searching for his name.
I love it though. It's so fun because I feel like people are never really too mean to Tomas Nido. Like
Right.
it's like these loving, whatever. I feel like he's a safe person. You can search your own name and not hurt your own feelings
But I
too
feel like
badly.
it's weird. Like, is it kind of weird to search your own name?
I don't think so.
I
mean, I don't do it because no one's writing my name. I don't think so without adding me. But if I was a famous person, I think from time, especially when like, people are talking about you today. You don't play third base and you played third base.
Right.
Maybe you're curious what people are saying.
And I'm sorry, it is. I was correct. It
Yes.
is Faith and Fear in Flushing. So Greg Prince, phenomenal follow. You should follow him. It is at Greg_Prince. But he wrote yesterday. Let me scroll back. Tomas Nido is the 178th third baseman in Mets history.
Wow.
There's been a lot of third basemen. I know only one of them matters in your heart.
That is true.
But Tomas Nido doing what he has to do to help the team out, and that's fill a spot in third base.
Like I said, we didn't get to watch much of that game. Do you know how many innings? Was it just one inning?
I think it was probably just the ninth,
Mm.
because by then the game was a wrap. You
Right.
know? I take it back. There is always a chance for a comeback.
How did he end up at third? What were the circumstances? Fact checkers, let me know. I
Yeah,
should
let
have
us
looked
know.
this up before I came, but I only had 30 seconds to spare before the show started.
So I wasn't sure if we were going to get to this or not, because I don't hate this man at all. But I feel like when we bring it up, I feel like he probably thinks that I really dislike him. And I don't. I just think that it's a funny thing to point out. Damn, let me get to it before.
I think I know where this is
It's a
going.
little bit further back. Just because we're blocked, it's funnier to talk about.
Right.
Because he's probably not going to see this because he blocks us
Right.
and whatever, but I'm sure it'll get back to him if anyone
Oh, there
cares.
it is.
So Salicata, who we love, but he doesn't like us. He was on Baseball Night in New York last week, which is exactly what we said last week, too.
Right.
If the Mets are going to do anything, they have to win the East. So he's on there in his hot take, whatever it says, the rogue opinion, Salicata. Mets are going to run away with the NL East. So I took a photo of my screen. I was like, look at this freaking guy. Because he's always so negative.
Right.
And now he's positive because the Mets are in first place,
What
whatever
did he
it may
call
be.
you?
I'm a fanboy.
Fanboy,
Yeah.
yes.
I'm pathetic.
Right.
I'm a pathetic fanboy.
Pathetic fanboy because you're
So
optimistic.
I took a photo and wrote, ha, 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 look who came around. What was funny about this, because that got a lot of traction, certain players
I saw that.
got involved.
I saw
and
that.
liked it or retweeted it.
Yep.
And I don't think it's bad to talk about, because
No, they publicly liked or retweeted it.
So I put something up after that said, he's going to block you, yada, yada. I'm like, well, he already did.
Right.
Some prominent Mets, an ex-Met from New Jersey, who is from Tom's River, who you might know, retweeted it.
Ooh.
So
Full-blown retweet. But Todd Frazier loves to stir the pot with like the media. I find it kind of funny, honestly.
But I mean, that's probably telling. Maybe there was something going on there.
Right.
And Stroman got involved as well.
I saw Stroman liked it.
So, little page 7 here. And that's what we're going to start calling it. So we got to think of like the page 7s.
We'll make it a segment.
Yeah.
Page 7. We'll spill the tea on
page 7. So and also Todd Frazier's still playing ball. So
I know.
He got released by, I guess he went back, he got released by Pirates, went back to Pirates. Now he's playing some independent league ball in Jersey, which is cool. And I'm sure he's probably drawing a big crowd too.
I know. And if he's playing in Jersey, I'm sure he low-key loves that. He can sleep in his own bed every night, spend time with his kids, his family. So I don't know if you still follow him on Instagram or everything, but I know every year when they go down to spring training, he always will post the video. His daughter is always just sobbing when they have to like say goodbye. Yeah? It breaks your heart. So I'm sure she's very happy that he's close to home.
This is funny too, because I said if I weren't blocked by Sal, it would be funny to reply to anything positive with him. Stop Stop being such a Homer fanboy. It's pathetic. So people started doing it. Like whenever he writes anything positive now on Twitter, people reply with this exact quote: "Stop being such a Homer fanboy. It's pathetic."
I can't. It's the Homer fanboy. That's the word I was thinking of.
What else could I be? I'm not running a SNY. I'm a
Right,
Mets fan
right.
that lucked into this career.
That's
I am a Homer fanboy.
My biggest pet peeve when people take issue with you or us or this podcast or anything is that they think that just because it is raining. Sorry, it just got
crazy. We have
really
a
loud.
tin roof or something here. When it rains hard enough, it like you can certainly hear it.
I
in
kind
here.
of got scared for a second.
Can you hear my stomach growling, by the way?
Not through port 3. Port 3 is very loud.
Oh,
so
good.
We're good.
Okay.
We're good.
My stomach's growling. I need that salad.
Where was I going?
His daughter gets upset. Todd Frazier.
We were past that.
Oh.
We were past that.
Salicata.
Oh, no. My issue with people, we just got on a tangent, the rain, but people who take issue with like, they think that we have this, or you specifically have some sort of like journalistic duty to like criticize and whatever.
Right.
It's a Mets fan run company. Your only job is to be a Homer fanboy. Like,
well, let's backtrack a little bit. People didn't like that. They always thought that I was giving like the Wilpons a pass because I wasn't always overly critical of the Wilpons. But like we said as much as we could say without it being just annoying to talk about all the time. Like I was never a huge fan of the Wilpons, and I said that.
Yeah.
But the whole thing with me was they own this team.
Right.
I never thought we'd see the day where they would sell a team. So I'm like, why are we wasting our breath talking about this every week?
Yeah, I honestly didn't either. When they first started talking about it last year, I'm like, this is never going to happen in my lifetime. So I don't know why we're still talking about it. But
so let's get to this before we have to turn this thing off because we're actually almost running out of time. deGrom. So we talked about it before he came out of the game. What's your level of concern here on the chart? I only gave 4 options. The first was none.
City.
He'll be fine. Slightly concerned, pretty concerned, in Panic City. 1,200 fans voted. Slightly concerned, won with 44.1%. I am shocked. Only 4.3% of fans are in Panic City, like thinking that he's not making it through the rest of the season.
Here's the thing: is I think, and it's a little dangerous.
People are voting on this with what they want to happen.
Not only that, I think people think that Jacob deGrom is invincible. And he's given us no reason so far to think otherwise. He gets injured for like 5 minutes and then always comes back just as dominant as when he left. So I get it. But at the same time, like we talk about every week. He only came back
for 2 games though.
I know.
And they pulled him early in the first one. This game he only lasted 6 innings.
It looks like he's pulling himself out. It looks like he's making the call of like, I've had enough, whatever. I think that might need to be what they do, at least for the rest of the regular season, is that maybe he just doesn't go as deep into games anymore. If you're going to be coming out of the gate throwing 99, 100, all game long.
So how concerned are you?
Yeah. And
how are you concerned?
Well, me?
Yeah.
I am. I don't want to put it into the universe that I'm concerned, but what I really think is, as it really has been a team effort for this team to stay afloat the way they have, but I still think to a certain degree, even though they don't always win the games he starts, I think the team lives and dies with Jacob deGrom. And I think if we lose deGrom, the wheels will fall off very quickly.
More so because Carrasco and Syndergaard aren't anywhere close to coming back to the team.
Right. And that's a lot.
And we got Peterson going tonight. I'm not going to lie either. When I was looking at the schedule of last week on Tuesday or Wednesday, when I brought it up to Kelly, which game we were going to go to, I didn't even mention Tuesday night.
Yeah.
Because I am still super high on Peterson. I think that he's going to be,
I think so too.
He's going to come around.
Mm-hmm.
But when I had to choose between Peterson on Tuesday or Taijuan Walker and Harvey on Wednesday, I was like, we're going to Wednesday.
Right. And honestly, Taijuan Walker has gotten off to like the best start of his career. That's what they were saying, his last start. So he's been phenomenal. He has been, I think him and Stroman have probably been the biggest pieces of the whole team this year.
Yeah. And Stroman taking that qualifying offer was huge.
That's honestly my big thing. The first thing they need to do this offseason is re-sign Marcus Stroman. At this point, love Noah, but he should be taking a qualifying offer.
I don't know if you wrote this or someone else wrote that along with restructuring deGrom's contract so he doesn't leave.
I saw that. I think I might have retweeted. I saw that, but I didn't write that myself. But I completely agree. I think, and it's so funny how like prior to the season starting, everyone wanted like, extend Noah, extend Conforto, and I feel like those are completely on the back burner now.
Right.
I still love Conforto. I still think he's great, but again, like him and Noah both being hurt for so much of this year, and prior to Conforto being hurt, wasn't playing like he normally does. So I think those are now less. I think Stroman needs to be, especially if any of these deGrom injuries are becoming lingering kind of things that, maybe, a couple games a season, he needs to just, I don't know. Stroman is very important. So
of course
they got to resign him.
So, totally important. And, I'm hoping that, I'm hoping that I'm wrong, but it's just the way the body works. You can't give that much abuse on an arm of 100 mile an hour consistently, bang, 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 bang all year.
Yeah.
And then think, all right, it's June.
Right.
We have to get through the rest of the summer and the playoffs.
Yeah.
Because, right, we're making the playoffs.
Of
Like,
course.
we can't
Of
not
course.
have the goal of World Series.
Right.
So it's like World Series, not really World Series or bust. It's a first year under Steve Cohen's.
No, I'm going World Series or bust. Let's do it.
It's 17 guys on the IL.
No, I know.
Of course, but you know what I mean. Like if
Right.
you're looking like that's what your goal should be.
Right.
Besides, who said it's not that you? Oh, Andy Martino. It's not a realistic goal to win the World Series. Well, what the fuck else is there?
I will not slander Andy Martino. But
Andy Martino, Salicata, shit list. All right. So listen, guys, we're going to get out of here in a little bit, but I want to promote again for LA because I think the tickets are going to go very fast.
Yes.
Tomorrow's home game, it's a Tuesday night, but it's $45 a ticket. So a little bit of a discount compared to what they normally are on weekend home game. So $45 per ticket, the t-shirt, the jersey and the ticket for the game on the 22nd. And the LA game, which I know is going to go quick, those go up on Wednesday at noon on our website. So definitely hit that up and grab your tickets because they're going to go quick. So the only thing that we need to figure out with LA, well, two things. We haven't figured out the hotel room block yet because you haven't been there, but there's nothing around the
I know,
ballpark
I've heard it's
at
nothing.
all.
Yeah.
There's a park next to it. You can't tailgate. Like it's strict.
Right.
There's no local bars. There's no hotels that you could walk to. So I've been calling around and trying to find like the best hotel rate. We're getting discount options, but like people might want to be in a certain area of LA. They want to be near like the Star Walk or whatever it may be. So I'm not 100% sure yet on the hotels. I'll figure that out. If there's a rate, we'll let everyone know.
Right.
But pregame party, there's nothing to do.
I know.
I was talking to Alex from Pantone. So that group, the Pantone
yes, I
group,
saw that.
they don't even do many home games because they said it's like there's no way for them to do what we do.
Yeah.
They can't meet up before the game. They can't like do anything but go to the game, which is, obviously you want to go to the game.
Well, I mean, are they okay with tailgating?
No,
if
you can't tailgate.
You can't tailgate?
You could tailgate with no alcohol. So like you could set up. I don't know if you could do grills and shit, but like you can't do what we do.
That sucks.
So I'm trying to figure it out. We may have to do something further away. And Rally Bus
it over
is a countrywide company. Maybe we could work it out where we go to the pregame party, we do it further away, but we end like a little bit earlier than normal because traffic fucking sucks in LA.
Sucks, especially in buses.
Get a ride from the bus, even if it's like a 5-mile ride.
Yeah.
At least we have a spot to go.
Totally, that might be the move.
We're working on it.
Yeah.
And shout out to Alex from Pantone. The friendly banter we have online it's part of sports.
Right.
I never say like I don't like them or whatever.
No, we're rivals.
It's funny. It's like there's no rivalry. But
no.
Anyway, I'm hoping Port 3 worked for you guys today.
Contest winners.
I'm getting to you right now. Don't forget to share the show. That's how you get involved in the free stuff. And shout out to Julia for reminding me here. So let's get to our winners. I'm doing claps a little bit early for them.
Fine. We're running out of time, so it's great.
Last week on Twitter, we have at Dwizzy013, DWIZZY013. And on Facebook, I think he's been waiting for this for a very long time because I see it in the comments all the time. And this is done completely random, but he finally wins. Araya Greenfield.
Woohoo!
You win this week on Facebook. So shout out to you guys. And we'll get some more info for you next week about LA. I'm sure they'll be sold out by then, but stay tuned, do your thing. Hopefully you're cheering loud. Hopefully Wednesday night is electric at Citi Field and the rest of the games as well, but deGrom night on Wednesday.
Heck yeah.
And that's it. Let's finish June strong. Let's finish this week strong.
Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day to all you dudes out there that have strong swimmers. And we will see you next week. And that's how he rose. Also a 2-time dad, strong swimmer. See you guys.
Perfect.